We put so much effort into getting the inside of our homes just right, don't we? Picking out the perfect throw pillows, agonizing over, paint swatches.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But then we get to the backyard,
Hmm.
and it's like we just kind of give up.
Yeah, it's funny how that happens, right?
Yeah, it ends up being just like the same old pager patio,
Right.
the builder grade deck,
Yeah.
little patch of grass.
It's almost like we just, you know, hand the creative reins over to the contractors and say,
Yeah.
all right, just make it functional.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's where the disconnect is.
Totally. And that's kind of the vibe I got from the source material for this deep dive, The Art of Outdoor Living, where design creates experience.
Oh, interesting.
It made me think, how much potential we're really missing out on.
I see.
It's like we just accept that outdoor spaces are just sort of there.
And this source really challenges that assumption.
Yeah.
What I think is fascinating here is how it pushes us to apply that same design thinking that we use inside our homes to those outdoor spaces.
Because wouldn't you agree, it's those really well-designed interiors that evoke a certain feeling.
Oh, absolutely.
A sense of who we are.
It's not just about the stuff, it's the experience you create.
Exactly. It's about the experience, not just like the stuff.
Right.
And this piece is all about how that same principle applies to the outdoors.
Exactly.
So instead of, settling for just a cookie-cutter patio, it's about making a space that really reflects your lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And how you actually want to experience it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dig into this idea of intentional design a little bit.
Okay.
The source mentions like these detailed questionnaires and one-on-one consultations as part of the process.
Interesting.
That sounds kind of intense for a backyard, don't you think?
Well, it's about going beyond just the basics.
Right.
Imagine instead of saying, I want a patio, you're asked, how do you picture yourself using this space?
Okay.
Do you see yourself having like big family barbecues?
Yeah.
Or quiet evenings,
Yes.
with a glass of wine under the stars?
It's like making those dreams a reality instead of just settling, right?
Yeah, you got
Not just for what's easy or expected.
exactly. And the source uses this great story to show this in action.
Okay.
Remember that client who at first just wanted to upgrade their patio?
Oh, yeah. That was a total light bulb moment for me.
Totally.
They went from like a simple request
Yeah.
to this incredible multi-level space, a dining area, a lounge, even a fire feature.
Wow.
It's like they found a whole new world right in their backyard.
They really did.
Yeah, and that's something I think we miss a lot,
Yeah.
It's not just about the physical things, but how those things all work together
Absolutely.
to make you feel a certain way.
To create the right mood.
Yeah.
This example shows how powerful, thoughtful design can be.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't just end up with a bigger patio.
Right.
They created a place for making memories.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is about creating something more than just a patio, right? It's about creating a space that you connect with on like an emotional level.
Right. It's almost like you're taking a picture of that perfect evening in your mind
Yeah.
and then figuring out how design can actually make that picture real.
I love that.
And that's why it's so important to understand the why behind every choice you make in the design.
Okay.
It's not just about looks.
Yeah.
It's about making sure those looks actually fit with how you want to use the space.
So instead of just saying, I want a fire pit because fire pits look cool,
Exactly.
it's more like, I want a fire pit because I can picture myself having these cozy nights with friends.
Yeah.
Sharing stories, making s'mores.
Right, because then that fire pit,
Yeah.
it becomes so much more than just something that looks good.
Exactly.
It's at the heart of those gatherings.
Yeah, it becomes a memory-making machine.
It does.
And that's a big thing that the source really stresses.
It is.
Creating these spaces that are for actual experiences, not just for show.
For living, not just
Yeah.
looking. And that brings us to another interesting idea from the source.
Okay.
This whole concept that a well-designed outdoor space should feel like it naturally flows from your home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not like it was just kind of stuck on there as an afterthought.
Like you wouldn't have this super modern kitchen and then step outside onto a rustic, like log cabin patio.
Right, it just wouldn't fit.
Yeah, they clash.
It's all about making sure the style reflects your personality and the style of your house.
Right.
Imagine you have a home with this beautiful modern architecture, all sleek lines.
Okay. Yeah.
Would it make sense to walk out onto a patio with these big, chunky, mismatched stones?
Yeah, you want that flow between the inside and the outside.
Exactly.
But I do think a little contrast can be cool sometimes, though, right?
Oh, for sure.
If everything matches too perfectly, it might feel kind of sterile, don't you think?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's not about copying your interior design exactly,
Right.
but you want to echo certain elements, whether it's through the materials, the colors, or even just the overall vibe, you know?
So, like, if your house has lots of warm, natural wood tones,
Uh-huh.
you could use wood decking or furniture to bring that same warmth outside.
Absolutely. And you could even use different kinds of wood
Oh, that's
to
cool.
make things a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe a darker, richer wood for the decking, and then lighter, more airy wood for the furniture.
I'm starting to rethink my whole backyard.
It happens.
I'm already picturing ways to make it flow better with my house,
I like it.
It's funny because I really love that idea of a fire pit,
Yeah.
but I've always been a little worried about the smoke,
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
bothering the neighbors.
Yeah. That's a common concern, and it brings up a really important part of intentional design.
What's that?
Thinking about those practical things.
Right.
The source talks about this too.
Right.
It's not just about making things look pretty. You have to think about the wind direction, the sun exposure, even noise levels,
Right. You don't want to create this amazing outdoor dining area.
only to realize it's a total wind tunnel.
Or you're baking in the afternoon sun.
Exactly. And that's where those one-on-one consultations could come in handy.
Right.
A good designer can help you figure out what you want,
Yeah.
but they'll also look at the specific things about your space.
They'll know how to deal with the challenges.
Yeah, and guide you to a solution that's both beautiful and practical.
Exactly.
Okay, so we talk about making a space that fits your style
Right.
and works with the practical stuff.
Uh-huh.
But how do you actually design for a specific experience?
Think about those mental snapshots we were talking about before.
Okay.
What do you actually love doing?
Yeah.
Do you see yourself having big fancy dinner parties? Or maybe cozy movie nights under the stars?
Oh, a movie night outside would be so fun.
So you'd need a projector and a screen.
Yeah, and comfy seating.
Maybe some lighting to set the mood and a place for snacks.
It's like having our own outdoor cinema.
Exactly.
This is why I love this deep dive. It pushes you to think outside the box, to imagine the possibilities.
Yes.
And there really are endless possibilities.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine having a peaceful spot for yoga and meditation,
Oh, yeah.
or a play area designed to get your kids' imaginations going.
I've always wanted an outdoor kitchen.
Oh, nice.
Those warm summer nights, grilling with friends.
And that's the whole point,
Yeah.
designing for the memories you want to make.
I like that.
It's about understanding that your outdoor space can be so much more
Yeah.
than just an extension of your home.
Yeah.
It can become the place where you create life's most meaningful moments.
Yeah. It's about creating a space, that feeds your soul, not just your Instagram feed.
That is so well said.
This deep dive has really shifted my whole perspective.
Well,
I've always loved being outside,
yeah.
but I never thought about my backyard as an extension of my living space before.
Right.
Now I'm seeing all these possibilities I missed out on.
That's what intentional design is all about.
Yeah.
It helps you see the potential that's already there.
Right.
You shift your mindset from just having a backyard to creating this outdoor space that actually makes your life better.
So if our listener is feeling inspired right now,
Okay.
ready to tackle their own outdoor space,
Yeah.
where should they even start?
Well, the source really stresses that the first thing is understanding your needs and your wants.
Okay.
It's about asking yourself those important questions, like, how do I actually want to use this space? What experiences do I want to create here?
Yeah.
What makes me happy?
So before you even start sketching out patio designs or picking out plants,
Yeah,
you got to have a clear vision of what you're trying to achieve.
you got it. And don't be afraid to dream big.
Oh, I like that.
Think about those wouldn't it be amazing if moments. Maybe you've always wanted an outdoor pizza oven for family pizza nights.
Oh.
Or you picture this peaceful water feature,
Okay.
that brings a sense of calm to the space.
I love that.
Tap into those desires and let them lead your design choices.
It's a journey, right?
It is.
Not a race.
You don't have to do it all at once.
Start with one small project.
Yeah, like adding a fire pit or a cozy reading nook.
Yeah, and as you get more comfortable,
Huh?
you can keep expanding and making your space even better.
You'll find what works for you.
Okay, so to wrap things up,
Yeah.
what's the one big thing you want our listener to take away from this deep dive?
If you could design your perfect outdoor experience, what one element would be the most important to you?
Yeah.
And why? Think about what really brings you joy and how you can bring that into your outdoor space.
Right.
Maybe it's a place to connect with people.
Yeah.
Or a quiet spot just for yourself. Or a place for something you love to do.
Okay.
Whatever it is,
Right. Yeah.
let that vision be your guide as you create your own outdoor oasis.